All right, we are watching this pursuit. Police are after this white car you see weaving in and out of traffic. But this is a time when a lot of times in the morning, there's lots of traffic. We don't just have, traffic during rush hour. Mark Liu has been following this. And Mark, what can you tell us?
Okay, so Amy, what we're looking at here is a white Honda Accord 2018 with a man behind the wheel here. LAPD has been on and off in pursuit of this vehicle for about the last 30 to 45 minutes. The want on the driver is misdemeanor domestic violence restraining order violation. But LAPD says that this driver has violated that restraining order 3 times today by going by a home in the Lincoln Heights area on Avenue 22. Now, this driver apparently was spotted violating that restraining order by Air 3, which is the LAPD air unit. They actually called for units to take that driver into custody. LAPD Northeast Division units did try and light this car up, lights and sirens. Unfortunately, the driver did not want to comply, and that is when the pursuit started. This driver has been heading around the areas of, let me check my map here, it's basically the areas of Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, Chinatown, Union Station. Now we are heading into the Westlake area. There's been some very erratic driving on the part of this driver. We've seen him stop and go, blow through stop signs, go on the wrong side of the road. At one point, he got out of the car like he is doing now. Oh, wow. He got something out of his trunk. It appeared to be bottles of liquid of some kind, perhaps bottles of beer, we don't know, and then put them in the front seat of the car and then kept going again. Now, there doesn't appear to be anybody else in this car right now, and there's no information about this driver being armed, but this person has apparently, according to LAPD, the air unit, the watch commander, done a violation of some kind of a domestic violence restraining order as many as 3 times today alone, which is why that is very concerning on the part of the LAPD, as apparently this driver has sort of been in the area of the victim of that domestic violence restraining order. So they're concerned that they may try and go back again. Now we're seeing wrong side of the road here at Lucas and Wilshire in the Westlake area. This is just another civilian that was trying to make a turn there. And this driver, this pursuit driver on the wrong side of the road with really no place to go on this very tight street, they have to back up. Now, there's currently no lights and sirens behind this car. There was an LAPD Central Division unit there that very briefly was lights and sirens, but now they have backed off as well. The watch commanders of 3 different LAPD divisions, Hollenbeck, which is the East LA area, Northeast Division, which is sort of the Lincoln Heights area, the Leisure Park area, and now Central Division, which is downtown, have all been partially involved in this pursuit as the driver continues to evade and drive very erratically. This morning, again, the want on that driver is a domestic violence restraining order.
Yeah, when you watch this, obviously starting out as a tracking, when they're actually pursuing them, obviously you'll see the lights and sirens, the cop cars right behind them. But, I mean, Mark, we've been watching this person driving erratically. This is a very busy area in the Westlake area. Pedestrians right there. There's almost that traffic jam. But it makes you wonder how dangerous this person is, because if this person went back to a home that he was not supposed to go to 3 times, who knows if he's armed? Who knows what? Who knows, there could be someone else inside that vehicle.
But it is kind of surprising, though, that they're, chasing him, but they know exactly who this person is. So maybe that's why we don't see the cars right behind this car?
There's a couple of things at play here. That could certainly be. They may know the identity of the suspect because it's a domestic violence restraining order. There is an LAPD unit with the victim of that domestic violence restraining order, the party involved in that restraining order, that is there. So if this person does return, there will be an LAPD unit there. And the other issue here is that these are misdemeanor violations of that restraining order, which usually LAPD would not engage in a reckless high-speed pursuit to try and take that person into custody. But this has happened 3 times today, which seems to indicate a pattern that could very likely put the victim of that domestic violence issue in jeopardy, because this person appears to be willfully violating that restraining order multiple times, or at least that's the allegation here. Now we are on the 110 North. That would take this person back into the area of that domestic violence restraining order issue. So LAPD very concerned about this driver, again, on the freeway now. Unclear if CHP is going to take this over. They have not really been a part of this yet. But the LAPD air unit now overhead tracking. There's actually there may be 2 LAPD air units in this area here as they track this driver. northbound on the 110. Unclear if they're going to sort of head to the east, which would take them back. This is that moment on the right side of your screen where that driver got out of that white Honda Accord with dark tinted windows, opened the trunk, got what appear to be bottles out of the trunk, and then put them in the passenger seat and then took off again. Here are some violations of that, the driver blowing through stop signs, occasionally going on the wrong side of the road, going around cars, dangerous driving. The air unit did tell the watch commander this is a very erratic driver, pulling a lot of stunts like that, squeezing in between cars, very dangerous. There's a lot of pedestrians out there as well. So a big concern for the LAPD this morning.
Absolutely. I'm curious what those bottles were in the first place. Is this alcohol that they were trying to not show? And then also, if they're tracking them, obviously the helicopters are above the choppers. They could hear that. So I'm sure they have some sort of idea that they are being followed and trying to do whatever it takes to get away. But I mean, people are getting ready to go to lunch. I mean, a lot of people are not working from home now, and the road's definitely staying a lot busier.
Yeah, this is just a super busy part of the metro area. This is the north part of downtown, right near the financial district there. It's near, now we're heading north near Stadium Way. This is right by Dodger Stadium. It's always congested here. It seems anybody who's, if you know any part of driving through the northern part of downtown LA, it's always congested. The streets are narrow here in the Elysian Park area, the Lincoln Heights area, and this is back where this pursuit all started. This pursuit started near Avenue 20 and Broadway. And this is sort of the neighborhood that this driver has now confined themselves to over the better part of an hour as this pursuit continues through these neighborhood streets here. Again, it's a male driver wanted for a domestic violence restraining order. As many as 3 times today that restraining order was violated. But the LAPD does have a unit with the victim if this driver attempts to make contact with that victim again.
And, you know, there has been a lot of dangerous maneuvers on these surface streets. And, you know, there for a little bit, they were back on the freeway, which, you know, we all know pursuits are dangerous wherever they are, but especially on these streets where you've got these intersections, you've got pedestrians. So certainly law enforcement prefers it to be on the highway, if at all. So everyone's heading in the same direction and you don't have people out there. But again, this is certainly never a good situation, and we're just hoping that this driver will pull over without any incidents happening. But so far, this person seems to be desperate to get away, stopping at a light, which is good, but certainly not pulling over for officers.
Yeah, this pursuit, you know, I mean, this tracking incident continues. I am listening to some radio traffic. It does appear that the lights and sirens, the units with lights and sirens have fallen way back here. Just the air unit is tracking now. They are continuing to call out the streets to the watch commander. They are monitoring. This command staff is monitoring this. They're hoping, like you'd said, that this person pulls over or abandons the erratic driving or leaves the area. The great concern is that they continue to sort of float around this area. Again, Broadway and Avenue 20 in Lincoln Heights. This is exactly where the pursuit started just about 50 minutes ago. This is where Air 3, the LAPD air unit, actually called for backup and said, I've got a domestic violence restraining order suspect. I need lights and sirens on the ground to take this person into custody. It was right in this area. So again, this is another sort of anxious issue here for LAPD as to what this driver is going to do. They do have, as I mentioned, a unit with the victim. So it's unclear if this driver knows that or can see that or is waiting until that unit leaves. We just don't know. But they don't want this driver to make contact with that victim again, because that would be then a 4th violation of a domestic violence restraining order here. Yeah,
and watching this driver, it appears this driver doesn't know what they're doing either. There's a police car. Maybe they're going to surrender themselves, realizing, hey, I've had enough. I'm done. Let's see if it stops. This is the first time we've seen interaction. Nope.
Was there a spike strip ahead of that car?
I do not believe, but it said that that unit was shop 669. That was the unit that was there with the victim. So this person now has potentially made a 4th violation of that restraining order. And you could see that they backed up immediately when they saw that LAPD unit there. It looked like there were 2 officers out there on the sidewalk. So, you know, this is exactly what LAPD did not want to happen. They did not want that person to go back to that home there. And because
wow, look at this.
Yeah,
wow.
Wrong side of the road. Again, very erratic driving. We don't see lights and sirens behind yet. But I'm going to listen to there's some radio traffic going on between the air unit and the watch commander. I'm going to listen to what they're talking about right now. Probably that incident that we just saw.
And when you see this kind of behavior, you know this is a desperate person willing to do just about anything. And, you know, staying in this area, oftentimes it's because it's an area that they're familiar with and they might want to get out and run into a building. But in this case, it seems like this person's just trying to get close to that victim.
Whoever that person is. I mean, the fact that this has happened 4 times, obviously it's a call for help. And this person, you know, is probably trying to figure out, where do I go? What do I do? We see this person stopping again. For whatever reason, they're reversing back into it. Maybe they see spike strips or potentially police units in the distance. But this all started just about, 20 minutes ago, and it's a tracking case. And you don't see a lot of the cop cars behind them because obviously it's daylight, and that could cause, you know, more danger out there, and that's not what we want to see, especially on a Tuesday at almost 11 a.m.
Now, Amy, that's exactly right, Chris. And Amy, I think it was you that had mentioned possibly that there was a spike strip. You thought you saw a spike strip on the road in front of where that LAPD air unit, the LAPD ground unit was. You were correct. I heard the air unit say that the ground unit had set out a spike strip, but that the suspect then reversed and did not make contact with that strike strip. You got great eyes. I did not see that at all. But there was indeed a spike strip out there. Those LAPD units in Shop 669 were ready for this suspect to come back and anticipated the possibility that that suspect may drive by that house where the victim of this domestic violence incident currently is. So this pursuit now essentially continues here in tracking mode as the driver goes through the Lincoln Heights area again. They have essentially confined themselves to this area of Lincoln Heights, north of the 10 and the 110.
Which one's live, the bigger one or the little one?
The smaller one. On the left-hand side of your screen is the live pictures. On the right side of your screen, the larger images. You see these are the highlights of essentially the dangerous behavior of this driver.
All right, well, it is the top of the hour, and we are following this police tracking of a reckless driver. Rachel Kim will pick it up from there, along with our assignment manager, Mark Liu.
All right, Amy and Chris, thank you so much. This is CBS LA at 11. We are live following a police tracking. Assignment Manager Mark Liu has been following this since just after 10 this morning. Mark, I understand, as you, Amy, and Chris were reporting all hour long, this is a suspect who has violated a restraining order 3 times so far today. Yeah,
potentially a 4th time as well, Rachel, in just the last about 10 minutes. Now, what we're seeing here for the first time, this driver getting out of the car for an extended period of time. He has opened the door a couple of times to get out. He got something out of his trunk a short while back. But now we are seeing this driver here, dark clothing, appears to be a man looking at the air units overhead. There's no lights and sirens currently behind this driver. LAPD has decided this is extremely dangerous. They didn't want their officers to go up close to this driver, hopefully giving this driver some room to sort of calm down, stop the erratic driving. But you can see very high speeds now here at Griffin and Avenue 33 in Lincoln Heights, 40, 50 miles an hour on these narrow streets. The original want on this driver was a domestic violence restraining order. An LAPD air unit called for backup to take this driver into custody after it apparently saw this driver violate that restraining order near a home in Lincoln Heights. The air unit later told the watch commander that they believe this driver may have violated that restraining order as many as 3 times today. Now, it's a misdemeanor violation of a domestic violence restraining order, but the air unit has described to LAPD command staff the very erratic driving that this driver is engaging in, sometimes on the wrong side of the road, blowing stop signs, very dangerous maneuvers, and has really suggested that they go into pursuit of this driver to take this person into custody as they continue to circle the neighborhood where this domestic violence victim resides. They are concerned that this driver may end up back at this property, essentially. Now, they do have an LAPD unit with the victim right now at that home, and this driver did go by and saw the LAPD units. They put out a spike strip for this driver, but the driver reversed and got out of there, did not make contact with a spike strip. Put out a spike strip for this driver, but the driver reversed and got out of there, did not make contact with the spike strips, and now continues to drive very erratically basically in that same area, Rachel.
So, Mark, he's continuing to circle that area where he tried to go to when he is accused of breaking the restraining order. So he's trying to go back to that location, as you said, possibly up to a fourth time. And at one point you said, Mark, that police initially kind of pulled back, but they decided to re-engage because of all this erratic driving.
Yeah, there was extremely erratic driving during the earlier parts of the shoot. We're still seeing some of it now.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no contact has been made. There have been no crashes and no injuries. But this driver has gone on the wrong side of the road multiple times, gone around vehicles, some really close calls where they try to squeeze through narrow spaces like he may be trying to do right here.
Yeah.
He's made some erratic U-turns, been on the freeway a couple of times. Yeah, this is an older neighborhood of the metro area of Los Angeles, so the streets are a little narrower than some of the newer parts of the city of LA. So it can be very, very dangerous to do high-speed maneuvers on the wrong side of the road. We've also seen the driver do this a couple of times, go into gas station areas. Now, it's unclear if that's because this person believes that they might have a moment to fill up or if they're low on gas. But at least one other time this driver has stopped at a gas station, but really hasn't stayed for longer than a few seconds. Now, unfortunately, they're underneath the awning there that we can't really see what they're doing right now. But SkyCal is going to make their best move here to get around to make sure that this driver, to see what they're doing. But it doesn't look like they have exited. There they are. They're right through the middle. Yeah, so they didn't stop to get out and get any gas or try to attempt anything like that. But now they're back on the move again here in the Mount Washington area.
He keeps pulling into a gas station. Maybe he's out of gas. Maybe he's hoping, police will lose track of him under the awnings or whatever is there. Mark, for viewers who are just now joining us, kind of recap what we know so far. You said that this suspect is originally wanted for violating a domestic violence restraining order. And you've counted at least 4 times that this suspect has violated that order by going back to that house.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this started just after 10 o'clock when there was a radio call that there was possibly a domestic violence restraining order in progress. The driver of this white Honda Accord, about a 2018 with very dark tinted windows, apparently had violated a restraining order by going near a property in the Lincoln Heights area. Now, the LAPD air unit said, look, I've got this suspect in sight. Let's get some officers behind this car to pull them over. The LAPD Northeast divisions did find that white Honda. They did light him up, lights and sirens, but the driver refused to comply. That started the pursuit. The watch commander asked the air unit, hey, what are we pursuing this guy for? And the air unit said, we've got a driver here who's violated a domestic violence restraining order. Not once, not twice, but as many as 3 times today. And Rachel, we think we may have seen a 4th violation with SkyCal as just about in the last 20 minutes, this driver has gone back to that same property again in Lincoln Heights, drove by. LAPD had put 2 police officers and a patrol unit there to protect the victim. This suspect saw that and then drove away. There was attempted a spike strip, didn't work. And now basically what we are seeing here is an LAPD air unit tracking this driver through the streets of Lincoln Heights. Very erratic driving. It's been a hot lights and sirens pursuit at points. Now it's a tracking issue where they're in what's called surveillance mode. They're hoping that since there is no lights and sirens behind this driver, he will calm down, possibly get out of the vehicle. That would be the best situation. And we have seen that driver get out at least twice. Once to get something out of the trunk, another time to sort of what appeared to be maybe yelling at the air unit overhead, and then back in the car and the pursuit on again.
And Mark, we've seen this suspect kind of circle the same area over and over again. So it doesn't seem like he's venturing off into an unfamiliar territory, staying in that, you said it was, is it Silver Lake or what area? Lincoln Heights.
Lincoln Heights. Yeah, the Lincoln Heights, Mount Washington area. This is the area to the east of Dodger Stadium on the east side of the LA River. Over in that area, north of, say, Boyle Heights, north of LA General Medical Center. It's a neighborhood where the driver apparently has basically gone in circles around. They've gone as far west as the Westlake area, but they've always returned back to this same neighborhood, Avenue 24 and Broadway, you see here in Lincoln Heights. This pursuit started at Avenue 20 and Broadway. So he's essentially 4 blocks from where this pursuit started. And again, this is very close to the property that this driver is not allowed to get close to. That's the domestic violence restraining order, to not approach a property here on Avenue 22. And again, it's just up the street. So LAPD very concerned. This is exactly where the driver is not supposed to go, according to a court order.
Mark, it seems the suspect has come to a stop here at the intersection. You see one of the units, 2 officers standing outside the vehicle. What is going on here? Can we tell?
Well, that looks like one of the LAPD units there. I'm looking closely. That I believe is an LAPD Hollenbeck unit. These are the officers that are essentially there to make sure that this driver does not violate this domestic violence restraining order again today.
Okay.
And you can see they do not want this driver to go down this street. And this looks like exactly what this driver is going to do. This is forcing a confrontation right now. This is very dangerous. As LAPD, you can see they're saying, do not go down this way. It looks like they may have firearms drawn right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully this means that this driver is giving up. We may be seeing the end of this pursuit, thankfully now. This driver being taken into custody. This, thankfully, is a good situation. That driver now complying, being taken into custody.
Yeah, it seems like, you know what, this is the 5th time now, the attempt. So maybe he's just giving up at this point, saying, okay, I'm done. And this has been going on for a good hour so far, Mark. And, you know, you said that the officers were with the victim the entire time, making sure that the suspect did not come back and potentially harm her in any way. Mark, do we know if this suspect was armed with anything in the car?
There was no information whatsoever about him being armed. There was no reports of seeing any weapons of any kind. This was simply, like I said, a violation of that restraining order. There could be restraining orders can have an area violation, can't come within 30 feet of a victim, 100 feet of a victim, whatever it may have been. And this suspect apparently did violate that, and that's what LAPD was concerned about. And then, of course, felony evading, that will be a charge here, and reckless driving. Those are charges very likely that the suspect will face as well today.
All right, well, an hour later, we are certainly glad to see that this has come to a peaceful end with no one getting injured. Again, that suspect in custody. Thank you so much, Mark.